Hey guys, welcome back to day 5. First off, congratulations. You graduated college in this scenario. And now I'm going to talk about what happens after college. And I can't talk about everything or every possibility that you can take after graduating from college. So I'm just going to talk about either work, post-collegiate studies like a master's or a PhD, and law or med school. And you don't have to follow these paths. You should do whatever you feel is best for you and what you think you'd enjoy most. But I'm just going to specify on these because I think that they are what most people would consider. So for work, if you want to just join the workforce right away, then here are some things that you should do to help you get a job. First is to network and to make connections. This is such a crucial part of finding a career. Um, there's not much to say about it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just get out there, start making connections, start talking to people that can help you out. You also want to research qualities of the job. So if there's a certain job, I don't have one at the top of my head, but you should research what would make me the best candidate. So when I get interviewed or for when I send them my application, they know that I'm the right pick because I have qualities that they're looking for. Also pick something that you can succeed in or be happy. And you don't want to do a job that you're just going to dread every single day. My grandma always says, if you love your job, you're never going to work a day in your life, which I think is what most people want anyways. And also stick with it. Success does come with time. If you stay in a job for a long time, you're going to work your way up to probably being one of the higher ups versus if you switch jobs all the time, you're never going to be there long enough to make an influence. The next option is school, and there are quite a few options that I'm going to talk about, master's and PhD specifically. So for a master's in the US, it takes about 1.5 to 2 years of full-time studying. There is part-time, but I'm not going to include that. And in the UK, it takes 1 to 2 years. And having a master's can greatly improve your chances of being hired because it shows your level of dedication and that you are obviously more educated in that subject that you got your master's in. It is also required for some careers to even be considered for the job, like museum curators, physical therapists, or counselors. In my opinion, I think it's a great idea to have a job whether or not it's required. Also, a PhD, which is even not better necessarily, but more prestigious of a degree than a master's because it takes 5 to 6 years full-time on average. There's a typo there, sorry. It takes about 5 to 6 years in the US on average, which usually ends up being 8 to 10 years because it's hard to work 5 to 6 years full-time without, another job. And in the UK, it takes 3 to 4 years. And fun fact, at Oxford, it's called a DPhil instead of a PhD. It's the same degree. It both means Doctor of Philosophy. They just rearrange it. I don't know why. And this is a great way to become an expert in your field. You also become a doctor. So if you work in certain fields, you'll be referred to as such. And it does make you a lot more desirable and competitive for a better salary and for higher positions. And it also can be required for a professor, a mathematician, and other jobs as well. And even for those jobs, it's not always required. Like you don't have to have it to have the job. But if there was someone with a PhD and someone without a PhD and they were head to head, they'd pick the person with a PhD most likely. Now let's talk about law or med school. To get into either, it takes a lot of hard work, drive, dedication, and ambition. It's so difficult, but anyone is going to be successful with this if they're willing to put in the work that it takes to be successful. So let's talk about law school first. To get into law school, you have to have a good GPA, usually above a 3.5, 3.5 or above, and a good LSAT score. This is, I don't know how to describe it. A good LSAT score, I don't exactly know the numbers work, so I'm not going to say because I don't want to lead anyone astray, but you want to be in some of the top percentiles so you are a competitive candidate. Also, you want to have experience interning or shadowing people in the law field, and you want to have connections like for just regular career. You want to be able to make connections and know people. Also, you have to crush your interview. This is super important. You want to show the school that they want you to be part of their alumni. And then once in school, you have to have a good GPA again. And at most schools, there is a curve. And a curve is when only a certain amount of students can receive an A, B, or C, a certain percent of students, which makes it a lot definitely more difficult to have an A, B, or C. And for law schools, you want to be a member of the T. You want to go to school to a T14 school. Sorry. And T14 just means top 14, and usually it gives you a better chance of being in big law or joining a competitive law firm. And those are the top 14 schools. I'm not going to read every single one of them, but I mean, obviously Yale, Stanford, Harvard, what you'd expect. Also Cal, Duke, Cornell, all of them are part of the T14 schools, and that's the website I got it from. Now for medical school, like law school, it is very competitive. You should have a high GPA, 3.5 or higher, a good MCAS score, experience, research, internship, volunteer work, and make sure that you nail your interview. And then once again, you have to work hard to have a good GPA for after medical school. For your homework today, you're going to research what path you would pick out of the 3 I've given, or you can pick one that you're interested in that I haven't listed here. And I gave a little example here. Let's say I want to get a master's and then go to law school. So to do this, I need to work hard to get a good GPA and get some experience while in college. I need to apply to a good school for my master's. And then while receiving my master's, I want to work or volunteer, intern, shadow at some area of law, such as a DA's office, or intern at a firm, etc. And then apply to a T14 school that is a little bit of reach, and then some schools that I know I can get into, and then work hard to have the best grades and get what I can out of law school to get my dream job. Okay, thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.